Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into the video. I just want to give you guys my quick thoughts on Black Ops 6 Zombies and where I'm feeling, and we're about a week into the life cycle of the game. So I just wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts on everything, what I think of the maps, what I think of the general gameplay, stuff like that. So let's just go over general stuff first, and then we'll kind of get a little bit more into each of the maps. So starting off, gameplay is super duper fun. It is probably my biggest compliment of Cold War is that the gameplay was really fun. So I'm glad that they kept that sort of fun gameplay style from Cold War into Black Ops 6. It is only fair that this is like an evolution. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want to go back to the old Black Ops 3 system. I'm kind of feeling that a little bit too, but it's also like, okay, you just kind of embrace it. And once you do embrace it, it is very fun. The salvage system, at least at this time, is a lot better, and same with the perk system. The perk system is pretty much the same. There's not much innovation, if at all. I will say that the augment system, at least for now, it is a little bit better than what we had in Cold War. It's super grindy, so you gotta kind of get through everything, and I don't have pretty much anything unlocked. I've been playing a lot now, but I only have a couple things, so I feel like this is gonna take a long time to unlock pretty much everything from the augment system. But from what I've seen, it is pretty cool that you can make these minor little adjustments. It is a lot better than what I initially thought the augment system was going to be. I thought it was like you could only pick 3 major and 3 minor total across the board. But hopefully this is how it works, and it's not like a bug or anything, is that you can just pick 1 major and 1 minor for everything. And I think that's a lot better than how I initially interpreted it. I'm not sure if I just misunderstood all the marketing, but you know, I've a pea mole brain. So currently the augment system, pretty good. It's definitely an improvement on Cold War. I know in Cold War it was just like you had the bad version of the perk, and then you played a little bit, and then you had the really good version of the perk. So yeah. This is the best version of the camo grind. Now, the camo grinds across all of the Treyarch games, from Black Ops 4, Cold War, and now Black Ops 6, I think this is definitely the best version. The Black Ops 4 camo grind is still a tedious chore, in my opinion. Like, I can barely get a few guns done in that game, but in Cold War, it's kind of the same. The difference in Black Ops 6 is that you don't need the level requirements to start grinding for the camos. So, just if you get a gun out of the box, but let's say it's like you need to be level 45 to unlock this gun, but you're only like level 20, you don't have to worry about that. You can just start going and you can start getting the camos for that. So, I already have quite a few weapons gold, so that's pretty good. So I think this is probably gonna be the first game I get the mastery camo on. I already have gold on a couple guns, and there's not that many guns. There's only 33. I think the ones that are gonna be tedious are like the pistols and the rocket launchers, unless they nerf the requirements somehow. But yeah, this is just gonna be probably my favorite camo grind. I'm still trying to go at Cold War, but Cold War is I don't know. It's like every time I get on there, I just kind of cry a little bit, but at least for now in Black Ops 6, I'm enjoying it so far. We'll see how that goes. So next we're going to talk about general gameplay. The one thing that I think everyone can agree on is the Mangler spam needs to be toned down, or there needs to be some kind of health adjustment or something. The Manglers in this game are insane. First off, Manglers should have just stayed in fucking Garad Crovey. Why they're in West Virginia, I have no idea. That makes no sense to me. What I think, and my theory is that this is a stark overreaction or overcorrection for the COD Next reveal. So at COD Next, you had a lot of people just getting to round 50, just no problem. You had Duke fucking Dennis getting to round 50 on Liberty Falls. So they must have like overcorrected, and now it's just absolutely insane to like get past round 40 onwards is literally just a chore at this point. And that's kind of my biggest critique right now, is that the high rounding is more of a chore, but we'll get into that later. So the manglers, something's got to be done about them. They're ridiculous at the moment. I don't really have a problem with the abominations and the amalgams because they spawn rather infrequently. I do kind of have a problem when there's multiple of them. Like if there's 3 amalgams coming at you at once, it's like, okay, what the hell am I supposed to do? So then you kind of have to resort to using chopper gunners or mutant injections, which is kind of like my main problem. I guess I've brought it up twice now. My main problem is the high rounds isn't very fun. I have tried and done high round attempts. They're not very fun. It's just kind of, you get to like round 45, 50, 55, and then you have enough salvage to just kind of loop kill streaks like over and over and over, and that's not really fun. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think like the initial strat where you had to use some traps was fun, and that was kind of the only way you could take care of all the enemies. But now it's just people have found strategies where it's like, okay, yeah, you can just loop chopper gunners, mutant injections, and even if you don't have a chopper gunner or a mutant injection, you have enough salvage to buy another one. So it's kind of similar to Cold War. I don't know. Back to positives. One thing that I've not seen many people mention is just how good the calling cards are. I don't know if it's just me, but these calling cards, I really fuck with them. Like, wow, especially the animated ones, like the Dark Ops ones. I think my favorite one is the Terminal one, the round 50 boss fight one. Wow, that is such a cool calling card, and it really kind of calls me back to Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare's calling cards, especially for zombies, were so good. So I really hope they keep this up. Like Treyarch, whoever made that Terminal calling card, I would like to kiss them on the lips. Like, please. Like, wow, it's so good. But yeah. So now we're gonna kind of go into the general maps. Liberty Falls. Let's go over that first. To me, it's like Forsaken. It's C tier, maybe even D tier. It's not very good. It's a lot of open space that they have to counteract with the manglers. The Abomination coming back is just like, dude, come on, like stop reusing assets. Let's make some new ones. You had 4 years to make this stuff. I'm sure you could make a couple new enemies. You know, like, why are we still using manglers and Abominations? Put them to bed, please. But yeah, it's like, it's a really short Easter egg, which I was very disappointed by, but it kind of, you know, you kind of got to go into it with, okay, this is going to be like the casual map. You kind of got to go into it like that, but I don't know, it's just, there's just something about Liberty Falls that's just like, man, Terminus is so good, but then you have Liberty Falls. It's like, what happened here? Was this meant to be another Cold War map? So it's kind of like a Kino situation. You know, I don't know. It's a fine map, but I'm not gonna be playing it like years later. You know. So probably my biggest complaint about Liberty Falls is the intro cutscene had nothing to do with the map. Like, what the hell is going on? We didn't get to see that mansion that Richtofen was in. We didn't get to go to the underground labs. We didn't get to go to those towers that were on fire. What the hell was that, man? This is probably the first zombies map ever where the intro cutscene has almost nothing to do with the map. And like, I'm trying to think of stuff. It's like, yeah, Mob of the Dead, it was right in the prison. It's like, there was not much disconnect, and if there was disconnect, like, let's say Zetsubo no Shima. Zetsubo no Shima took place on that boat, but that kind of shows you how they got to Zetsubo there, right? Because it's like, you can assume it's like, oh, only a couple minutes pass, and then boom, you're in Zetsubo. The Liberty Falls one, I'm like, what the hell? I thought we were gonna see the big Sam ball, or like go to Richtofen's house or something. Like, what the? I don't know. That's what makes me worried, is that they're saving that for the final map, or like one of the maps later down the line. That's what I'm worried about. I don't know, man. And they're gonna have to reuse the Wonder Waff, which is another weapon we've seen like 500 times. Like, makes me a little nervous here. Yeah. So the jet gun, it's pretty fun. I don't know. I really feel like there's so much that's leading up to a Zombies Chronicles 2 or like a Transit remaster. Like a lot of Liberty Falls kind of looks like Transit in a way, and they have the jet gun and all that stuff. So like, are we gonna see a Transit remaster? There's just so much kind of pointing to it. I don't know. But it's a fun gun. There are a lot of the side Easter eggs in Liberty Falls, I will say, are pretty cool, if they're kind of short. The Etherella one, that one's so funny when you, because if you exfil with it, it actually uses that as your character model going into the helicopter. It looks so stupid, but it's so funny. I hope they keep that in. The bowling Easter egg, also pretty cool. Yeah, so there's not really much to say about Liberty Falls. What we are going to move on to is Terminus. Now, Terminus, oh man, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I wanted to see out of Cold War, is this kind of map. In my opinion, it is the best map since Ancient Evil. It might even be better, I don't know. The Easter egg is super fun. It was such a great hunt. I was really worried because I tried hunting Liberty Falls. That hunt was kind of but then you join in on Liberty Falls, or on Terminus, I should say, and that hunt was really fun to do. I had a lot of fun. The Easter egg is still really fun. I kind of want to start speedrunning it. I'm not really the biggest speedrunner, but I don't know, there's just something about Terminus's Easter egg where it just seems kind of fun to do, like, over and over again. I've done it a lot of times now. And in my opinion, that boss fight, like, wow, that boss fight's cool. That was really unexpected. I kind of expected some kind of tentacle monster, but I didn't think, like, wow, that was really cool. Please, more of that, Treyarch. Like, if there's one thing I want Treyarch to... No, I know they're not going to watch this video, but if Treyarch learns one thing from this video, please do more of that. Patient 13, like, more of that, please. Maybe get even crazier. Like do more mechanics or anything. Like, ooh, man. My favorite, though, is the round 50 version, or later, of that boss fight. The Dark Ops challenge for that is my favorite boss fight Treyarch has ever made, and it's only second to Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles is like, all the boss fights are kind of like down here. Mephistopheles is like way up here, and then the Terminus boss fight was like knocking on the door up here, like the round 50 version. That is the kind of difficulty that I want to keep seeing from Treyarch and Zombies and all that. So please more of that. Keep doing that. I want every Treyarch employee to know, like, that is what I'm looking for in Zombies. Please keep doing that. Wow. So the Beam Smasher Wonder Weapon, it's pretty cool. There's not really much to it. It's just kind of like you use the left trigger to stun them, and then the right trigger to clear them out. So it's pretty cool Wonder Weapon. It's not like the craziest thing we've ever seen, but I am glad that they're still making unique Wonder Weapons. The atmosphere in Terminus is incredible. Like, oh my gosh. There are some times, especially when driving around the boat, where you're like, you have the moon off in the distance and it's reflecting on the water, and you have like that little bit of fog and the waves are crashing, and then you get like that tentacle monster out there. That's just so cool. Like, every time I go out there, I'm like, wow, this is cool. I almost get like kind of like Dreisendracht feels, where, you know, in Dreisendracht you just kind of look out and you're like, wow, this is so cool. There are so many side Easter eggs. It's very plentiful. They're all very fun and or rewarding. They all have their own little purpose to it. You can go through the match and not get a single side Easter egg, and that's perfectly fine. And that's kind of what I like about it. Like, a lot of my favorite maps, you can just kind of play however you want. Like, you can just take your one gun and go through some rounds, and that's it. Or you can do all these side Easter eggs, and it's super fun. Or you can do the main Easter egg. I love maps like that, like maps like Buried, Spaceland, all that stuff. Super fun, where you can play however you want and you can kind of get away with it. That's kind of like my biggest critique. Like if you watch the Origins review, that's kind of my biggest critique, where on Origins you can really only play the one way, and that's to get the staffs and all that. Horizon Draw kind of same, you can really only play one way, where you get the bow. This is kind of like that perfect blend. I think the last map we've had this kind of sandboxy feel was Spaceland, so I hope they keep it up. All the side Easter, like the pirate Easter egg, that one's super cool. The meteor one, I don't even know, is it a meteor? I think everyone's calling it a meteor. I think it's a satellite, because it's like satellite things, and whatever. That's super cool. Melee Macchiato though, like we'll talk about all the perks while we're on that topic. Melee Macchiato is kind of just what I thought. It was like a lot. I didn't really see much hype around it. It's not like Widow's Wine, where there was like, oh man, Widow's Wine, that sounds really cool. Melee Macchiato is exactly what I thought. It's kind of more of a band-aid to the system that they have. It's just kind of like Slappy Taffy or like a Bowie knife replacement. There's nothing too spectacular about it. I do like the mod or the augment where there's actually a couple augments. The one is where you can do multiple enemies at once, and then there's another one where you heal based on melee hits. So that's pretty cool. That's the kind of like choice that I want to see more of from these augments. There's not too many. There are a couple in the whole augment list where it's like, ooh, it's kind of like a tough choice, but a lot of them are just kind of like, yeah, just pick this one. So yeah, hopefully there's more new perks and abilities and all that, but I have a feeling they're just gonna kind of go down the list of what they had in Cold War. So you got like the Toxic Growth, Tombstone, Death Perception, Mule Kick. I'd never used any of the other ones. But yeah, that's kind of like my main critique, is that I flacked Vanguard a lot for reusing everything, so I gotta give this some flack, but they are doing their best with this kind of situation. Now, let's go into spoilers. The Sentinel artifact is a huge pill to swallow. I'm very mixed on it right now. They gotta be so careful with how they handle this, how they handle reintroducing chaos. That is like that's pretty much jumping the shark, in my opinion. I don't know, like I really gotta wait and see how they do this, because Jason Blundell, he probably saw that and he's just like, what the fuck, man? Because they were talking like, it's when they introduced chaos, they made it very clear it is completely separate from the Aether storyline, and now we're kind of mixing them. Okay, that's just gonna be something that we gotta wait and see for. Oh man. And then there's these rumors of the Primus crew coming back, like, you gotta be careful. So yeah, basically that's pretty much it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. My main message: more Terminus, less Liberty Balls. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time.